So I'm really excited. Say hey.
Hi.
You all can hear Francine Marie Saturday mornings.
Tomorrow. Okay,
In
tomorrow,
a few hours.
5 a.m., V101.9. I know it's early. Just lay there. I come to your sleepy space. Sunday, you have another chance. Power 98, 6 a.m. I'm just saying.
There you go. I love it. And you can hear me each weekday morning, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on V101.9.
And Cafe Mocha at 7 to 9 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. We got that out the way.
Anyway, I'm really excited about being here to celebrate all of these ladies. Are they not phenomenal? I'm so empowered. Oh my God. I feel like I'm not doing enough. What am I doing? But anyway, it's been so moving this evening, and I'm really glad to be a part of this. So the last award, of course, Mayor Vi Lyles. You all know her. Charlotte's first black female mayor. Yes, honey. Yes, and so I was thinking, Francine, like, how do I go up and describe her? And so I was just thinking of what it takes to be Charlotte's first black female mayor. And I started thinking about all these P words that are inspirational. Okay. She's powerful. She is patient when she has those city council meetings, because some of those folks, I know they get on your nerves, but you're so patient, Mayor Vi Lyles. And she's very passionate, and she really wants to take Charlotte, I think, to the next level. And she's already doing that. There are other cities all across the country that look at us and say, hey, we want to be like you. And so I give her accolades for that. So we are welcoming and celebrating her, and I think there's a video that we're going to watch, too.
Look up.
Okay, they're breathing down my back. I feel you, Miss Sheila. Here we go.
In November of 2017, Mayor Vi Lyles was sworn in as the 59th mayor of Charlotte, making history by becoming the first black woman to lead the Queen City. A mother of 4 and grandmother of 2, this South Carolina native has always multitasked, led by example, and worked in service to others. Drawn to the city in 1970 as a college student at Queen's University, where she received her bachelor's in political science, Lyles later earned her master's degree in public administration from UNC Chapel Hill. She's been at it for nearly 30 years, starting as an analyst in the city's budget department before becoming budget director. As assistant city manager, she helped create the city's first capital budget, restructuring government programs, and led the community safety plan that helped develop the city's affordable housing plan and Mecklenburg County's minority and women's business enterprise program for small businesses. As a tribute to her service, in 2009, the Southern Piedmont chapter of the National Forum for Black Public Administrators created the Viola Vi Lyles Young Public Administrator Award, which recognizes energy, commitment, and drive for excellence in work and community service. For overcoming challenges as a passionate leader dedicated to serve all people is why Mayor Vi Lyles is Cafe Mocha's 2019 Salute Her Game Changer honoree.
Thank you, guys. I just want to say, Sheila, just what you've done and how you've given of yourself to create this place where Black women can celebrate each other is phenomenal. Lonnie, I'm not quite sure where that sense of humor came from, but it needs to keep on growing. And Yo-Yo, the dress is fabulous. Okay. But you know, my girls at Francine and Janine and I have worked together for so long and doing so many great things in the city that I sometimes feel like I'm following others. And they have been people that I've followed, and I'm proud to say that. You know, I was thinking about this as all of the women were introduced. I have to just say, every one of you have a connection with me, an entrepreneur that cares about her family. And NASCAR, a Black woman in NASCAR? I remember the first Black man that didn't make it in NASCAR, so, you know, that's special. I have to say, you know, Bree went to my hometown and acted out and up. Last week I went down to my family. They're in the A&T calendar that they do for African American History Month. And I was sitting in the Kroger Center, and I was driving, as we drove down Gervais Street, and looked at that space, and I thought about what you had done. Because I grew up in a family from Columbia, South Carolina. Well, really, we grew up in Hopkins, South Carolina, which was like down Highway 76. And it was very difficult. I went to the first integrated schools in South Carolina in 1967, when the Brown versus Board of Education was 1954. So that tells you how change happens and what's required. So I also want to say that my dad had his first job after returning to the war at Fort Jackson. And it was because black men weren't allowed to have the GI Bill for the housing or for the education. They only had the job preference. So when I hear you say, I went to Chapel Hill, I got this opportunity, and I serve in this military, you have done great work. Thank you. And then I want to say something about my colleague, Dimple Ashmira. Now, Dimple is one of those people that speaks up and out. And, with that same kind of tenor and strength in her voice, because sometimes we believe that we are the only black people in this community, in this country. And the way that we came here is different than immigrants that came here. But let's not forget, every person that walks across that border today or came across the oceans, they deserve the opportunity that the people that came here and took this country over had. And then, I have to say something. American Airlines has made our airport the 6th busiest in the world. Now, that's not taken for granted. We work hard every day to make sure that we can have a great experience for not just the airlines who actually run the place, but we try to make it a great experience for every person that walks through that door, whether they're an employee or a passenger, because everyone deserves that kind of respect and the customer service that you have shown and emulated so well, so thank you. And then the final thing I want to say is that I've worked on homelessness and housing for most of my career. And when I see a partner that recognizes the smallest thing that makes a difference, that makes a house more than just a house, that gives people this sense that they're human, that when they walk into a house and they see a piece of furniture, or the kitchen has dishes in it, a toaster oven, whatever, when people work on those kinds of things, fills my heart, fills my soul. Thank you for what you're doing and making that difference. So I stand here tonight to say to you all, I am truly blessed in so many ways to be mayor of this great city. But we all know that times are changing, and we're going to have to adjust to those times. We're going to have to create greater equity. We're going to have to create great inclusion without giving up what makes us special, which is that we are kind and welcoming, that we believe in justice and peace, but we believe in it for everyone. It's going to take us a little while to catch up, and that's okay. I'm not a millennial. I know my hair looks like I am, but my stylist does a great damn job. But let me say this. Government wasn't created to make regulations that stamp people down. Government was created to create a platform for people to achieve and to do better. I want to just say this. People often talk to me about minority participation and what we're going to do as government. And I say, I hope that none of us rely on government to create opportunity. Because the private sector, look at every one of you. Look at what you do. The private sector, the sense that I can do something and have an idea and create it and be an entrepreneur or a small business. You know that I can raise my family and have a decent home to live in, and that my children will do better than I can. That's what we all want. That's what I want for my children. That's what I want for those beautiful grandchildren that you saw. And if I can be a small part of this country's achievements, of this city's achievements to make that happen, I'm just going to be an okay person. Maya Angelou said something that I like to think about. People may never remember what you say. They never may remember what you do, but they'll always remember how you make them feel. And that's what we want people in this city to understand, that we want you to feel welcome and honored and respected. And that's what this world is about. Thank you so much for this award.